Well, hello. Today's movie is in 1996, 2 Days in the Valley. Two hitmen tranquilize a girl and kill the man she is with. Later, one of the hitmen betrays the other and shoots him and leaves him for dead. Only he was wearing a bulletproof vest and manages to get away alive. He takes an art dealer and his assistant hostage in their home. The woman wakes up and finds her dead ex-husband and finds two vice officers to report the murder to. A screenwriter contemplates suicide, and he tries to give his dog to a nurse at a veteran cemetery. The nurse takes the man and dog to her brother, who is being held hostage. Needless to say, they all get taken hostage. The woman whose ex was shot contacts the hitman and his girlfriend. She had hired him to kill her ex-husband, for $30,000. Only, of course, the money is at her house, and Lee, the hitman, has to go and retrieve it. While gone, then, the girl gets into a fight with Helga, the girlfriend. A real knockdown brawl that ends up with Helga getting wounded. She goes to Lee, who killed the cops at the house, and knocks out an eager vice cop. He's going to kill his girlfriend, too. But she manages to escape, and on the street, she is found by the surviving hitman who's taking the hostages. The two hitmen get into a final confrontation. So this 1996 movie is basically kind of, one of the many, I suppose, clones that were inspired by the success of Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. This is definitely one of the better ones of those movies. And it was, written and directed by John Herzfeld. And apparently he was, having some kind of writer's block, and he ended up in a veteran cemetery, and all the names that he named the characters he found on the tombstones. And this is a very enjoyable kind of ensemble movie. It has like a very a very diverse cast and several kind of stories going around that kind of come together at the end. There's basically the hit with the two hitman played by Danny Aiello and James Spader, and then one betrays the other, but he survives, and he takes this kind of art dealer who's a real asshole and her assistant, and there's kind of a little love interest going on between the Danny Aiello character and the assistant played by Glenn Headley. And there's also a little subplot with this Paul Mazursky and who's like a screenwriter who's really had some failures and wants to kill himself, and finds Marsha Mason in a cemetery and tries to give his dog away, and of course she's the sister of the art dealer that's the asshole that got hostage, and then they all get taken hostage, and we find that this woman whose ex was killed is actually the one who hired the hitman to kill him, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. And this is Charlize Theron's first movie. She was like only 19, and this had a really cool cat fight. I mean, it's like a real knockdown, drag down fight. I guess it's like ranked in the top 10 of IBDM's fight scenes. It's a really cool fight scene. And of course, there's this you know, kind of Eric Stoltz, who plays this kind of overeager vice cop who wants to be a homicide cop, and he gets involved in it somehow, and you know, it all kind of comes together with the two main hitmen meeting, and you know, it gets resolved in a very satisfactory way. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this movie. I think it was a very good movie. I know it didn't do too well. I mean, it only made like 11 million. I don't know what its costs were, but 11 million seems pretty low, and it had some mixed reviews and that. But and Terry Hatcher, who apparently got a Razzie nomination for Worst Actress. I don't know, maybe 1996 was a slow year or something. But you know, it's a really fun movie. It's very enjoyable. I enjoyed it. Nice little ensemble cast. Everyone was, you know, cast perfectly. James Spader is this kind of psychopathic hitman who likes to give people a minute before they die, and yeah, it's an enjoyable movie. I highly recommend it. And if you stuck with me this long, I thank you. You're a unique individual.